All right, 2021's coming. That means New Year's resolutions, new online businesses, new attempts at escaping the rat race. I'm going to give you the way I think beginners should start their first e-commerce business online so that they don't have to put money up front and they don't have to make any big risks. Follow me and I'm going to show you how to start a print-on-demand e-commerce business that sells clothing to the niche that you are a part of. If that sounds good to you, you want to be super profitable, make a bunch of sales, let's go. All right, so everybody knows dropshipping, out of style. Nobody's doing it anymore. It sucks to have to wait 3 weeks for products. Well, is that true? Yes and no. It's true if you're ordering products from China. If you're dropshipping products from the USA, that's a totally different story. That's where print on demand comes into the picture. What's print on demand? It's simple. You take a piece of art, you take a customer, and you take a t-shirt. They order the t-shirt. When the t-shirt's ordered, your POD manufacturer prints the art onto the t-shirt, sends it to the customer. Easy. This allows you to start an entire clothing line without having to have any stock purchased up front. After that, I'm going to teach you a way to expand this business model into something that makes customers happier while being more profitable for you. Let's go. So, first thing you need to do, choose a niche. I'm going to leave this up to you, and that's a subject I cover in lots of other videos. For an example in this video, we're going to say that our niche is fitness. Sweet. I've started a new POD fitness brand. I signed up for my Shopify store. Time to get a POD manufacturer. The two I recommend are Printify and Printful. I'm going to throw the links to both those guys in the description for the video. I like them both because they both have Shopify plugins that will automatically fulfill your orders for you. All right. So your customer orders something, you pay for just that order, Shopify pays you that money, your customer gets it. It's super simple. You are going to need designs though. So you can either learn about Photoshop or Illustrator, or you can go on Fiverr or Freelancer and hire a graphic designer to make some designs for you. Now, if you are not proficient in Photoshop and Illustrator, I recommend you learn the basics, but for this first round, just go through and hire somebody. Say you're going to spend $30 to $50 for a couple designs. This way you're about $200 out, but you have really quality designs that are going to stand out to your customers as being really professional. You take those designs and go onto your POD manufacturer and order yourself one sample of each item of clothing that you want to sell with a version of the piece of artwork on it. So let's say that you have 2 t-shirts and 2 hoodies. You want to do a black and a white t-shirt and a black and a gray hoodie, and they each have a different piece of artwork on them. Go through, order samples of all of these. After that, you'll be able to determine, okay, I like the quality of this t-shirt and of this hoodie, and the artwork looks good on this color, but not so much that color, and all without ordering one example of each combination. See, when you go to POD manufacturers, you can have a wide variety of brand blanks to choose from. You don't have to choose just Gildan or just American Apparel, but you are going to have to decide how much money you want to spend. So instead of getting the cheapest or the most expensive option, I say go through, get the middle of the road option so that your quality is good enough, but it's not so expensive that it's eating into your margins. Because although POD is good, it still has the issue of eating into your margins a little bit. You're looking at 20% net profit at the end of the day. Once you get good at it, you can do that all day long. So we've gone through, order our samples, now do a photo shoot. Take some lifestyle photos. Don't just use white background photos. You see, you need photos to populate your Instagram page, to put on your website, and just generally sell the product. You see, with clothing, we can't use a copyright heavy direct response style so easily. You see, with clothing, as much of a direct response copywriter type guy as I am, I realize that pictures are primarily what's going to sell it. So go through and take super good pictures. The thing I would recommend though is think about who's going to be buying your clothes and make the pictures representative of them. For example, I had a brand where I was selling to mostly young men ages 16 to 30. Well, although I thought using a hot girl as a model was going to be a really smart move and help me sell a lot of hoodies, turns out they didn't relate to the photos that had my clothing on that model, and that never sold as well as pictures of my friends in the clothing. So just go through and find the people who are going to wear your product and get your photos that way. I'm sure you can have some friends who will participate in a photo shoot if you buy them a pizza afterwards. So go through, get your lifestyle photos, take some white background photos too. The easiest way to do this is by just laying your hoodie or your t-shirt on the floor and then cutting the edges off it in Photoshop. Add a little bit of a drop shadow to it. It's not that hard. If you can't figure out how to do this, again, get a freelancer on Fiverr. That should cost literally $5 to do because it's super quick and easy. So you've got designs, you've got the clothing, you've got photos. Populate everything. Build a Shopify store that looks really slick. Start an Instagram page. Make it so that this is a brand that nobody can tell is a print-on-demand clothing brand. It should look like you are one of the big guys. And this isn't that hard to do, which gives you a major advantage. This is called first mover's advantage, because it means you can act really quickly since you don't have to buy stock up front. Boom. Run your Facebook ads, sell your product, get customers. Once you have those customers, here's a trick. Email them and say, hey, if you send me a picture of you wearing the product, I'll give you a $5 off, a $10 off, whatever coupon for your next purchase. Generally, you're going to have a pretty good response rate to that. This gives you user-generated content. User-generated content is awesome for Instagram and for use in your Facebook ads. Another way to do this is just have people tag you in pictures on Instagram when they get their product. Ideally, they're so excited about your product that they want to post pictures of it on Instagram. This will be how you produce content for your brand without having to hire expensive photographers and videographers. Plus, there's a social proof element built in because people will already see that past customers are enjoying their products, and then when they see your ad, it'll make them more likely to buy. This is a really good business model for starting out in e-commerce because it's just so easy to iterate on. The thing I need you to keep in mind though is your first 1, 2, even 3 designs might not be hits. It's not the kind of thing that every try, you're not gonna hit a home run every time you're at bat. But it's really easy to iterate and try new things this way because your product cost is so low. You don't have to have 100 t-shirts made. For $30, you can have a new design, put on a shirt, sent to you, take some photos, try it out. That's going to be the thing that really determines your success with this business model is how many designs you can test. As long as you're in a niche that's proven to be profitable, and that just means you're in one of the big evergreen niches. You're in fitness, gaming, automotive, something that people already like. Don't try to be super obscure with this the first time, and don't try to take some super exotic angle. Keep it simple. If you do that, I guarantee that after you try a couple different designs, or maybe even on the first one, you're going to have a hit, and then you can scale that hit. When that time comes, here's a really cool strategy for lowering your cost, making yourself more profitable, like I mentioned before. Go through all of your local screen printers and call them up to offer them this deal. Say, hey, I have a Shopify store, I'm selling X number of hoodies per week. I want you to go through and each week mass print up the hoodies that were purchased last week and send them out to all my customers for me. This isn't a service very many screen printers do right now, but if you can find one, even if they don't do it already, and get them to agree, this is going to make your life a lot easier because you retain the drop shipping element of not having to fulfill orders yourself, as well as the fact that you don't have to pay for cost of goods up front. Not to mention, the quality of your products is going to improve because it's actual screen printing and not the direct-to-garment printing that comes from the print-on-demand companies. If this goes well, you might say, hey, I'm going to spend a couple $1,000s and buy some stock, each different size, different colors, and just fulfill it myself and turn this into a real clothing brand. Ultimately, that's probably where you're going with this. But the reason POD is so good is you can test and save money while you get to that point. This is how I always do clothing brands, and once you're in with a good screen printer, you don't even need to start with the print-on-demand manufacturers anymore. They might even just make you up samples at a cheap rate because you guys are business partners already. If you're trying to get into dropshipping in 2021, I really think this is the way you should do it. It's an easy product to make. It's a product with wide appeal and still maintains a large potential profit margin and potential scalability. All right, guys, that video already went over 10 minutes, a little bit longer than I was expecting. Go through the links in the description, go to my website, cjboake.com, sign up for my email list. You'll make more money if you do. And I'm going to put the links for the print-on-demand manufacturers in there as well for you to get started. Okay, boys and girls, I will catch you next time. Over and out.